Welcome back to the 40-day series entitled Affirmations That Matter. Today we are on day 18 of this transformative series, a series that's intended to transport us from the locations where we have failed to the locations where we will not just succeed, but where we will thrive. We are grateful that you've been here 17 days. If you're joining us for the first time on day 18, we ask that you take a good look at the content of our videos. And if you do like our content, tap the like button. If you have not subscribed to this moment, go ahead and subscribe. Be part of this spiritually awakening, spiritually conscious community. We ask that you would tell someone about us and be sure that together we provide collective support to everyone who would like to move from the locations where they have failed to the locations to where they will not just succeed, but where they will thrive. So, welcome again. And here we go to affirmation number 18. Affirmation number 18 is I am awakened to the power of fear. I walk by faith and not by fear. I am awakened to the power of fear. I walk by faith and not by fear. I no longer live in fear. I no longer walk in fear. I no longer have a friendship with fear. I no longer have a meaningful relationship with fear. I walk by faith. I live by faith. I believe in the power of faith, and therefore I have embraced faith. Faith in divinity, faith in the power of divinity, faith in the spoken words of divinity, faith in the science of divinity, faith in the manifestations of divinity. I have embraced faith as the spiritual instrument, the only multi-dimensional, the only supernatural, the only supreme power that is able to provide me with the blessings that I need for a meaningful, for a successful life in this universe. Therefore, I am awakened to the power of fear. I know what fear can do. I know how much fear can stop me. I know how much fear can take away from me. Well, let me say it differently. I know how much fear can grab from me. I know how much fear can stop me from going after those things that are important for the fulfillment, for the meaningfulness, for the destination that I have to complete in this life. I know what fear can do. Every morning when we awake, we can either be filled with anxieties, live our lives in anxieties, live in fear, or we can intentionally grab on to the mantle of faith. We can grab on to the power of faith in divinity. We can grab on to the science that we receive from divinity. Embrace that science, embrace that power, embrace divinity's power to manifest in our lives. Walk by faith instead of living our lives in anxiety. Now, it is okay to admit, to accept the feeling of anxiety. It is quite natural as humans, we will experience anxieties because we do not have control over tomorrow as we would like to have. We don't have control over the natural laws that exist in our universe. We don't. We are responders to those laws that exist in our universe. We can respond positively or we can respond negatively. We can work in tandem with them. We can work together with them. We can provide support to ourselves as we walk through this universe, as we traverse this universe. We can do that, or we can sit in a corner. We can mope all day long. We can live with anxieties. We can live in fear because we don't have control over tomorrow. I am telling you that fear is not a friend. Fear is not a friend. Fear is going to stop you from taking the necessary risk and avoid you, stop you, grab from your fingers, grab from your hands those things that you could have had by now, those things that you can have, those things that divinity intended for you to have. We will blame divinity for us not having what is meaningful to us, but it is the fear in our lives that stop us from going for those things that we need. Fear of failure, fear of being talked about, fear of someone calling us names, fear of rejection, fear that it's not going to work out the first time around, the second time around, the 10th time around, fear that if we don't do well, others will talk negatively about us, dissenting voices. Well, guess what? How long have you allowed persons who have not taken necessary risk in their lives to achieve those things that they want to stop you from achieving? How long have you allowed them to dominate the space that you can use, you can utilize to achieve those things, to acquire those things that you need in your life? I mean, it would be foolish of us to just allow persons who are non-risk takers, who live in fear, who don't fuelize fear, who don't use fear as fuel for the fire. It would be foolish of us to allow those persons to dictate to us how to live our lives, how to go for those things that we should go for, when to go, how to go. It would be foolish of us to allow that to happen. And you know what? I was part of the community that dictated when you should go for what, how you should go for what, and did it out of fear. Guess what? Divinity is not about fear. Divinity is not fear mongering. When I speak of divinity, I do not align divinity with any religious denomination. Divinity is divinity. Divinity stands on its own. Divinity is greater than the science that we can fathom. Divinity is greater than the definitions we can provide. Divinity is greater than the prescriptions we can provide to the religious groups that we meet with. The divinity is greater than the faith traditions that we support. Divinity is greater than all of that. And divinity does not live in fear. Divinity does not instill fear in any of us. We are challenged by the adversarial spirit of fear. We succumb to the adversarial spirit of fear. We give into it. We embrace it, and it debilitates our lives. And many of us are still blaming others over the decisions that we made simply because we were afraid, fearing, being afraid. Anything that you would like to achieve is going to require that you be awakened to the power of fear. Anything that you would like to achieve will dictate that you be motivated by faith, that you walk by faith and not by fear. Thank you for stopping by on day 18. We look forward to seeing you on day 19 when we continue with another affirmation that really matters. An affirmation that is going to take you, that is going to take you, that is going to take me from the location where we have failed to the locations where we will not just succeed, but where we will thrive. I'm looking forward to seeing you on day 19. Do enjoy the rest of today.